Kate Jones from HazmatIQ by Federal Resources. We are here with Hazmat living legend Bill Hand. Bill, how long have you been a responder and what's your current title?
I've been in the fire service for 40 years. I've been a hazmat responder for 35 of those years, pretty much exclusively a hazmat responder. My current title is I'm training coordinator with the Harris County Fire Marshal's hazmat response team.
How did you get to where you are today?
I guess I just stumbled along the way. I got in the fire service in 1974. We started our hazmat team in Houston in 1979, and I saw it probably as a one-time opportunity to get some really good training from folks in the industry, and that's where it all started. The years passed pretty quick, and this is where I am today.
Perfect. What did you find your greatest challenges were during your career?
I think the greatest challenges is probably developing training and getting people on board with hazmat. Mentoring others as we came along. You know, the interest level in the beginning was really not there in Houston for hazmat. We didn't have many people that were interested in being on the hazmat team. And then once they found out a little bit about it and what we were doing, then things progressed from there. But I think that and just keeping up with everything. This subject matter is so broad that it's a full-time job just keeping up with the subject matter and where we work here in the city of Houston and in Harris County. We have just about every kind of chemical process and container that there is, so it's a task just trying to keep current on all that stuff.
What do you see to be the greatest challenges facing today and tomorrow's responders?
Probably the same challenges that we faced starting in the 70s. We know now more about what we need to know. And back when we started, we really didn't know what we needed to know. So, but even at that, we've got a lot of new technologies out there, a lot of new ways of doing training. But I think the key is keeping people street smart. To me, that's what it's all about. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge is turning out and keeping street smart responders. There's a lot of book smart responders out there, but the real test is on the street.
What are your thoughts on solutions and where the future of hazmat will go?
Well, we've got a lot of technology out there now as far as training. And again, we know more now about what we really need to know. So I think we're moving into a phase of a lot of computer-based training. Some really innovative things as far as simulations go with training. The younger generation is definitely a lot more into that sort of thing than my generation was, although I've really tried to keep up with that. But now they pull their smartphone out, and we used to have a stack of books, and they pull their smartphone out. So there's so much technology out there for information. But even though we can access a lot more information, we still need to know how to use that information in the street, do good hazard and risk assessment, and make good decisions. And that hasn't changed.
Can you describe hazmat in one word?
Exciting.
Perfect.
Most of the time.
Now, what's your most memorable call?
I thought about that. I've been to so many calls. I guess probably the most memorable call was we had a 40-inch gasoline pipeline that opened up during a flood and released a lot of gasoline in the San Jacinto River, and it lit off. And it was a big fire, and that's a pretty memorable occasion. But there have been others that are right up there with that. But if there was one, I guess that would probably be the most spectacular.
Who are your hazmat living legends that you look up to?
Probably some of the early trainers and mentors that I had. I would probably put a fellow named Hugh Keepers, who worked for the Texas Railroad Commission for many, many years. Probably that's the first hazmat training. He was a trainer with liquefied petroleum gas for the Texas Railroad Commission. He was very street oriented, very down to earth, very practical, and I would put him pretty close to the top of the list. Ron Gore from Jacksonville, Ron's way at the top of the list. He was one of the first hazmat trainers that I had. Tom Deering, who worked for Phillips 66, I was very involved with them from the industry side. A fellow named Beans Little, who worked for Dow. He had worked for Dow for a number of years, and some of those guys were the ones that gave us our really initial hazmat training, long before there was a OSHA, long before NFPA 472 and that sort of thing. So a lot of those folks out in the industry were really my mentors.
Why did you become a responder?
Houston formed a hazmat team and a heavy rescue company, and one of those units was going to run out of the station where I worked, Station 1 in downtown Houston. And I saw it as an opportunity to get training in heavy rescue and hazmat. So I said, well, I don't really have anything to lose, so I'll try it. And that's where it started, and here 30-something years later, I'm still with it.
Do you have any advice for your fellow responders?
Well, the advice that I give to any responders that's going to get involved in hazmat is you really have to be willing to spend the time to educate yourself and stay current in this business. And if you're not willing to do that, then it's probably something you shouldn't get into. If you're waiting for somebody else to bring all the training and knowledge to you, it's probably not going to happen. So it's a lot of self-motivation, a lot of drive. If you're going to get in this business, be a good, safe responder.
How do you feel about the HazmatIQ system, and have you ever used it?
Yes, I'm familiar with it, and Joe and Chris have been friends for a long time. We talk together a lot, and it's a very effective tool. It's another tool in the toolbox. There's lots of tools out there for solving the problem, but it's a way to get some answers quickly. And the main thing I like about HazmatIQ is it's very street smart. And I'm all about street smart. I'm all about simplicity and street smart. And it's one of those street smart tools that responders have that they can use.
What do you want to be known for?
I guess I just want to be known as a good street hazmat responder.
Well, thank you, Bill, for your time. It's been a pleasure.